The last photo anyone took of Marcus showed him smiling. It was taken at his company's annual awards dinner. He was holding a trophy. He was wearing a suit he hadn't paid for. He looked like a man at the top of his world. That photo was taken on a Friday night. By Monday morning, everything he had built over 11 years was gone. And the most remarkable thing about it, he never saw it coming. This is the story of a man who thought he was untouchable, and the person he had underestimated, who made absolutely certain he wasn't. Marcus had been at Calder and Rowe Financial for 11 years. He had joined as a junior analyst straight out of university. He was charming. He was quick. He knew how to make people feel smart for agreeing with him. By year 4, he was a senior manager. By year 7, he was running an entire division. By year 10, he was the kind of person who got CC'd on emails he had no business being on, just so people could say they had his attention. You know the type. Most workplaces have one. The person whose confidence is always just slightly larger than their competence, but who is so smooth that it takes everyone years to notice the gap. Marcus had one particular habit that would eventually destroy him. He took credit, not in the obvious way, not in the way that gets people fired in their first year, in the quiet way, the insidious way, the way that leaves the person it happens to wondering, did I imagine that? Did he really just present my work as his? He had done it to 3 people before he did it to Priya. The difference was Priya kept records. Priya had joined the company 3 years after Marcus. She was quieter than him, more precise, less interested in the room knowing she was smart, more interested in actually being smart. She had built the client forecasting model that Marcus's entire division ran on. She had written the methodology that their biggest accounts now used as standard. She had saved a project Marcus had nearly run into the ground, twice, without ever once taking public credit for it. Because that was Priya. She believed the work would speak for itself. She believed in the system. She believed that eventually people would notice. She was wrong, and then she stopped being wrong about it. The moment things changed was a Tuesday in November. There was a quarterly review meeting. Senior leadership in the room. The CEO joining by video. Marcus stood at the front and presented Priya's 18 months of work. He used her slides, her data, her language. He changed one thing, the name on the cover page. Priya sat in the 3rd row and watched it happen. Priya said that was the 4th time, but it was the last. What Marcus didn't know, what nobody knew, was that Priya had been keeping a log, not in anger, not out of bitterness. Because after the 2nd time it happened, she'd spoken to a friend who worked in employment law. Friend said, if you ever want anyone to take this seriously, you need a paper trail. Dates, specific instances, evidence of original authorship, everything. So that's what she built. Every piece of work she produced, time-stamped in a private cloud folder before she shared it internally. Every email where Marcus had forwarded her documents without attribution, saved. Every meeting where he had presented her analysis, noted with the date, the room, the attendees. The original version control on the forecasting model, backed up externally, showing her as sole author. 2 years of documentation, 73 separate instances. An 18-page summary with timestamps, file metadata, and email headers that told the story so clearly a child could follow it. He thought, I'm not going to confront him. Confronting him gives him a chance to spin it. I'm going to make sure that when this comes out, there is no version of events in which he can spin anything at all. After the November meeting, Priya took 2 weeks. She didn't say anything at work. She didn't change her behavior. She showed up. She worked. She was Priya. In those 2 weeks, she did 3 things. First, She updated the documentation log with a November presentation, screenshots of his slides against her originals, word for word. Second, she contacted an employment solicitor, not to sue, not yet, just to understand exactly what her options were and what the company's legal obligations were if presented with evidence of this scale. Third, she requested a meeting, not with Marcus's direct manager, not with HR, with the chief operating officer. This is the move most people never make. They go to HR, and HR protects the company. They go to their manager, and their manager has a relationship with the person they're complaining about. Priya went to the one person senior enough to act decisively and far enough removed from Marcus that they had no personal investment in protecting him. She booked it as a strategic review discussion. She brought printed copies of the 18-page summary, one for the COO, one for herself. She sat down, put the document on the table, and said, Priya said, I need 30 minutes. I'm not here to complain. I'm here to show you something that has a legal dimension you need to be aware of. After you've read it, I'll answer any questions you have. The COO read it in 22 minutes. She didn't say anything for another full minute after she finished. The company launched an internal investigation that same afternoon. IT was asked to pull email metadata. Version histories were audited. 3 other former colleagues, people who had left the company in the previous 4 years, were contacted. Every single one of them had a story. Marcus, for his part, noticed nothing unusual. He was not informed an investigation was underway. He attended meetings. He submitted reports. He put his name on things. He thought, everything is fine. It's always fine. It's always been fine. On the 10th day, he was called into a meeting with the COO, the head of HR, and the company's legal counsel. There were 4 people in the room. He was the only one who didn't know what the meeting was about. He was placed on immediate administrative leave. His company laptop was taken at the door. His access card was deactivated while he was still in the building. He was escorted out by 11:15 in the morning. 2 junior colleagues watched from the open plan office as he walked to the lift. He was carrying a small cardboard box. He was not smiling. She got everything she had earned. Marcus's employment was terminated with cause. The company clawed back 18 months of his bonus on the grounds of misrepresentation. His name was removed from 4 published case studies the firm had distributed to clients, case studies built on Priya's work. He attempted to dispute the termination. His solicitor reviewed the documentation Priya had compiled. Then his solicitor advised him, very quietly, not to. Priya was promoted into Marcus's role 6 weeks later, not as a replacement, as the person the company recognized should have been doing it all along. She was also awarded a significant compensation payment, not from a tribunal, not from a legal fight, but because the company's own legal team had looked at what she'd brought them and understood immediately what it meant for their exposure. Sometimes justice doesn't come from a fight. Sometimes it comes from a file so well organized that the other side's lawyers look at it and quietly advise everyone to make it right. I asked Priya later how she had managed to stay calm through all of it. 2 years of watching it happen. Months of quiet preparation. The meeting with the COO. How had she not exploded? Priya said, anger is expensive. It costs you focus. It costs you precision. I didn't have the luxury of being angry. I had a case to build. He had never really looked at who else was in the room. Marcus was last heard from 18 months later. He had taken a role at a smaller firm, a lateral move, not a step up. His LinkedIn profile no longer mentioned Calder and Rowe. Priya's forecasting model is now used across 3 divisions. Her name is on it. Finally, people like Marcus exist in every industry, in every office, In every field, they move through careers, leaving a trail of other people's work with their own name attached. And most of the time, they get away with it. Because the people they take from don't have a log, don't have a timeline, don't have 73 documented instances and an 18-page summary. Priya had all three. The thing about underestimating someone quiet is this. Quiet people are often quiet because they are listening. And people who are listening are building something you can't see yet. He thought he was untouchable. She made sure he wasn't. If this story stayed with you, there are more below. And if this has ever happened to you, you are not imagining it.